Peace and love. Peace and love to everybody out there.
We're gonna have to run that back.
This is a continuation of the video right before this. So if you want, you could just go to that previous video that just cut off. We were trying to read the messages in the chat and the video froze. We're on the road, but peace. So yeah, we're not gonna say everything. You can just go back. This is part 2. Okay.
So we're just talking about how we as Moorish American Muslims should always put the Prophet out front. And putting the Prophet out front, we shouldn't be worried. We shouldn't be worried or bothered by, all the nonsense that's happening around us. Whether it's other Moors or, just your environment. You focus on Allah and put the Prophet out front, and all your works and good deeds will be rewarded. Islam. And
when you like what she was saying, with like on the cover of the 101s, the Prophet showed you lifting humanity, a female, out of the cares of the world. Okay, so in many ways, like, that means several things, but one aspect of that is remembering to vibrate at the level of the Prophet, to vibrate on love, to lift yourself out of the cares of the world by vibrating at a higher level, right? And that's Hermetic thought. That's one of the main things that it's teaching you. And the reason why that's in alignment with the Prophet is because these are all ancient Egyptian adept teachings. These are teaching you, to rise your thoughts, your vibrations to a higher level. So in all the situations that you find yourself at in life, you have several roads that you could paths that you could go down. You could go down, the lower vibration route and get upset, get angry, or you can put the Prophet up front. You can vibrate at that level, because we're all to emulate the Prophet.
Islam.
Right? You're to emulate that. You're to see his life and see the things that he did, the examples that he physically set for you, and emulate it. Okay? So if there's a chance, the Prophet actually had someone in his lifetime while he's doing great things, establishing all these businesses, getting Moors on board all across the country, and there's people who came into the movement. They didn't start it. They came in, and they wanted to start taking the credit. And they would, and I'm saying this for a reason, they were, being disrespectful to the Prophet, saying, look, we're not going to send them money. We're not going to do this. And the Prophet, he could have just completely kicked this person out. But he's like, you know what? You can be a member, but you can't be, the head, the Grand Sheikh, Grand Governor anymore. But you're still going to be a member, And that was love.
Islam.
That was love. All right. And in doing this, I'm showing you that there's always a way that you can go about doing things. Okay. We operate on love. All right. We want you to be successful. All right. And there's always, a lower route that you can take. All right. But the Prophet showed you to take the higher road.
Islam.
All right. To vibrate
it
this way.
Take the higher
exactly.
Road.
Take the higher road. It's not just talk. It's something that we live by. All right. And go ahead. I just wanted to add that.
And since we are members of the MST of A, is the Moorish Science Temple of America, we could talk about more science and how in quantum physics, our thoughts are enormous. Islam, our thoughts are enormous, and there's endless thought particles around us all the time, full of energy. And whichever one you are tuning into at that exact moment in time is the life that you're living. It's your choice to choose the thoughts that create your reality in every second of every day. It is your choice not to let the outside world influence your thoughts. And that's why Noble Drew Ali is the Prophet, because he brought us a way of life and a way of thinking that takes us from our lower selves and our lower vibrations as part of this world, bring us back to the ways of our ancient forefathers, the pyramid builders, the ones who left all of these trademarks all over the world that nobody can duplicate because they're living through their higher selves. And right now, our people are living so far deep into their lower selves and their egos that we can't even attempt to do what our ancient forefathers did. But the prophet came for us to redeem us from our sinful ways, from our lower selves, and a slave to other people's lower selves.
Exactly. So we're to pick ourselves up, clean ourselves up, and by default lead the way, uplift fallen humanity. Okay, starting with ourselves, and everyone else can pick up their pieces as well. So what like with adding to that, you know, was why I was sharing that story earlier, how just a few days ago we walked past, there's like 2 pit bulls tied up outside. We walked past them, they're cool. 2 other people, a male and a female, walked by them, and they just like they were in kill attack mode. Okay, it's always you. It's always your mentality, the vibrations that you're sending out. It's not those dogs' fault. They are do what they're gonna do. They're not evil, you know? It's all depending on you. They're looking to you as the master, the Lord over the plane of things made manifest. They're looking to you, you know, to see how to react. Okay, and this is how the whole world is, even things that you perceive as inanimate objects. And this talk may seem out there for people, you know, but it's real and it's very true. And everything that he taught is in alignment with anything that was based off of ancient wisdom, ancient Egyptian thought, whether you're, assigning this to talk to the ancient Egyptians, whatever. It's all in alignment because thoughts are things, thoughts are real, you know, all is mine, okay? And in this aspect, this sentient being, you affect your reality always. And so this is why the prophet set a physical example for you, and why you're taught to put the prophet out front, and why that may just be words for some. If you actually put it into action for you, what you will be doing is when you have a chance to go lower, you will go higher. You will try and you will work on vibrating in a higher route so that you don't let these things get to you, so that you know that you can send out love, that you can move at a higher rate, and that will physically lead to success for you,
Islam,
as well as spiritually and mentally. And many of these teachings, you know, they turn some people off, you know, and some people think we're conscious, you know, waking up turned off because you're like, what is this Holy Quran? What is all this spiritual talk? But that's what it is. That's where the power is. That's where reality is.
That's where the
all
secret
is mine. All is mine. And you would be surprised, you know, how many people that are successful, you know, in life, you know, good health, you know, wealth, spiritually, I mean, physically, you know, making good money. You would be surprised how spiritual they are, that they're on these teachings, okay? Not, you know, saying they're reading the Holy Quran, but something like that, where they understand these teachings and they're putting it into action for them. And that's why they're getting, you know, physical, you know, benefits from it as well that you can see, okay? You'd be surprised how many millionaires and billionaires are on this, right? But I'm telling you this to say that, you know, all is mine, and that's why, you know, the first half of the Quran, the Holy Quran is dedicated, you know, to your spiritual upliftment. This is what it is, all right? You master this, everything else falls in line. Okay, and so it's always like that. It doesn't matter who's beefing out there, who's got issues with you, all of that stuff. If you vibrate higher, it works to your benefit. Okay, if you vibrate higher, you know, you improve your reality, regardless of what anyone else is trying to do.
And that's facts. That's all facts, because we are disappointed all the time, but we don't act on our disappointments and how our emotions are not supposed to drive you. Like, that's how you go and decide whether you're gonna have a good or bad day. If you wake up in the morning and you stub your toe and that puts you in a bad mood, that's going to spiral down throughout your day, and your whole day is going to be messed up. Okay? And because of your whole day being messed up, because how it started off, because something negative happened to you, that puts you in a box where you're not creating that day. A whole day where you're focused on negativity, you know, and it's getting worse. You're not creating. You're not the creator of that day. You're letting other people and other things influence your train of thought. Now, if you were trained and you were disciplined and you followed the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and you focused on Allah, you know that that is what we work on, so that we can, no matter how our day starts or what happens during the day that we might not like or appreciate, we know that we have the power to change that instantly, in a second, in a millisecond, with just saying, oh, I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna keep on because I have a purpose and I have a goal and I have a focus. Okay? That's how you don't get programmed. That's how your mind doesn't get used for, you know, consuming and marketing and everything else that you're being bombarded with every day. The distractions of this world, the cares of this world, that Noble Drew Ali is prepared to take you out of. If you just opened up your mind, shut your mouth, and stop trying to be the center of all the attention all the time.
Islam, and that's not really you. That's the lower self, okay? And one of the things, like once again with that symbol, you know, with the Prophet uplifting fallen humanity out of the cares of the world. This is what he's doing, telling you to rise your thoughts to a higher level, to put the Prophet out front. That means to raise your self vibration to that level, so that you're not bothered by what offends the ego. You know that the lower self is traveling to and fro, seeking whom it can devour.
Islam.
So by knowing this, you're not going to allow something that offends the lower self to take you down, okay, as well.
Islam.
All right? So you know that when there's an opportunity, I could get upset, you know, this is offensive, you know, to vibrate higher. Emulate the Prophet. That's keeping the Prophet out in front, you know? That's not offending me, you know? So the lower self is seeking whom it can devour. So don't get caught up in that, right? Vibrate higher. Always vibrate higher. Vibrate on love. It's the highest vibration, you know? Take a slow, deep breath. And it's just why, world, you see that image and he's lifting the world. Why? He just, and he's giving you a symbol that is universal. All right? Always lift your thoughts up. Always vibrate at this rate. We're not perfect. Sometimes we get upset. Sometimes things happen to us, but always try to remember, you know, or not try, but strive for this, you know, to lift yourself up to that vibration. Don't get caught up. Know that the lower self is seeking to whom it can devour. Okay? Do not get caught up in these things. Always vibrate higher. And this is how you can improve your reality. All right? I just wanted to add that.
Exit right.
Islam. And like I said, with all the distractions and stuff going on, don't focus on that stuff. Don't focus on these beefs. Don't focus on what this Moor is doing over there, what that Moor is doing over there. All the Moors that's doing the Prophet's work will be rewarded for their good deeds. And all the Moors that aren't doing the Prophet's work, but acting like they're doing the Prophet's work, will also be rewarded. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you and what you want. It's not about you and what you think. You didn't create this movement. It's okay.
Continue on route.
To add on to the Prophet's movement. That's what the Prophet wanted. It's okay to take the Prophet's teachings and bring it to the people. That's what the Prophet wanted. But it's not okay to attack other Moors. That is against our bylaws and our constitution and bylaws. we're supposed to talk to each other in an intelligent tone as Moorish American Muslims. We're not supposed to be airing out our dirty laundry. We are not supposed to let all the outsiders who actually don't want to see us doing well and rising up as a religious society, we don't let them know that we have issues. Everybody has issues.
Yeah, if you,
You know?
one of the things, you know, just from a science of the mind perspective, if you're sick, you know, physically, if things are wrong with you, one of the downsides of sharing this with others is that you're putting that in their mind as well. So they're seeing you as having these issues. So you're just spreading it. You're not actually improving the situation. It's actually making it worse, you know? And so that's one of the things, like, it's not always good to air these things out. If there's an issue with other Moors or whatever, it's best to handle it behind closed doors. Whether it just means you mentally, you know, working on yourself and improving your reality, or even speaking with that person off of the internet. Because when you're putting it out on Front Street, then that starts to go into the bylaws and starts to go into, you know, slandering other Moors publicly, which is something that we're all bound by. Like, why are any of us doing this, right? So that's why you won't see us ever mention other Moors like that on the channel, even if they're, you know, sending, I guess you could say, hate our way. It doesn't matter, because by the time it gets to us, it's love.
Islam.
Right? Because
no
I can't, you know, she can't hate other Moors. We can't have that same type of energy against other Moors, because we live in a good life. We both work, you know, we have a beautiful, healthy family. We're both healthy. Like, you know, what more can you want? You know, we're able to travel, go out of the country if we want to, you know, and so, like, you know, we're happy.
Islam.
We don't live in anger. And I'm saying this like it's a thing for all of us. You understood. Even when I'm saying I or we, still speaking for all of us. Like, we're able to travel, we're able to do all these things, live the good life. Why would we be like angry? We can't like sit on that vibration and make videos about other Moors and pausing it and trying to down them and do things like that, because we're happy. You know, we're playing with our children, they're beautiful. It's like, not angry, we're not trying to, you know, talk bad about someone else or put someone else on Front Street. It's like, no, we don't vibrate there. And I don't advise anyone to, because that is purely the lower self. That breeds nothing but envy, hatred, you know, it's just a self-repeating cycle.
And it pulls down on your health. All those negative vibrations that you putting out there, it's doing something internally to you.
It. Like, if anyone's trying to, like, if anyone's envious, you know, that, you know, what we have going on or anything like that, you know, I don't vibrate at that level, so it's not taking me down, you know, because, like, if you're doing good, I want you to take over the world.
Islam.
I want to see some Moors doing it big. I want to love you. I want to be proud of you. I want, you know, I want you to be successful, because there ain't enough, like, you being successful is not going to prevent me or any other Moors that I care about from being successful, because there's enough room in this universe for all of us to succeed. They might fool y'all. You know what, you know, there's things I read where you could fit the entire human population in Alaska, and they could all have their own houses with little land, and there would still be land left over in Alaska alone. Okay, so I don't subscribe to this scarcity mindset. I'm not thinking, oh, we all trying to get the same viewers. I don't care. Look, I love it. It's cool that we can share the information, but we're not making a living off of YouTube. We're work.
Not in competition.
We physically work.
There's
so,
no
like,
competition.
YouTube is something for us to share information. It's a labor of love for us, you know, because it's something that we're doing because we want to, you know, to help improve the situation for ourselves and for our children and for you and your children.
Islam.
That means that, like, we doing it like charity. It's not something that we do, you know, because we want everybody to look at us, right? If you looked at my personal Facebook, you won't see a whole bunch of pictures, because I'm not even, like, trying to be out there like that. So I say that just to say that this is a labor of love. So we, you know, we're not doing this to make fun of people or anything like that, anything on a lower level. We vibrating on love for real. If you out there, we want you to be successful. There's no thought process in here that we're competing for views or subscribers. If you are more and you're doing it, come on here, let's build. I want your channel or whatever you're doing to grow. If you have a business or something, especially if you prosper, if you're writing children's books, I don't care what you're doing. If you're doing it and it's positive, I want to help you be successful, you know, because I want to be proud of you. I want you to succeed. You know, this isn't like something that we're making up. Like, I don't see other Moors walking down the street and hate on them. We back.
Islam.
So what we were saying is, you know, that's genuine. You can feel where I'm coming from, right? We don't want to see Moors hurting each other. We want it to be, you know, prosperous. So it's same with this YouTube, with other Moors out here. Want y'all to succeed. We're not competing. There's plenty for all of us, okay? And that's the vibration we're at. So there's no jealousy or envy over here. That's the lower self, okay?
Islam.
No, not saying that we don't ever come in contact with the lower self. Of course, it rears its head, but we're not slaves to the lower self, and neither are you. Especially if you're Moorish American. You follow the Prophet. You should study the Quran, and you should understand, and you know the proper relationship. That you're supposed to be sitting on the throne, and the higher self, the lower self, works for you, okay? It works in unison. It's not supposed to be given the orders. So if you're looking at other Moors and you're jealous or angry, or, you know, you want to talk bad about them, you want to expose them, any of these things, that is purely lower self, okay? Even if you think they're stupid and you want to expose how stupid they are or whatever, that's purely the lower self, right? Because it just wants to devour. Did somebody say
some folly?
Okay, so not, you know, respond. I thought they asked a genuine question, like, should we read the Quran or something like that? But
I don't know.
of course, we should read the Quran, you know, and the reason is because the wisdom in it is deep and it's true and it's real, okay? And that will help you get out of that, because it truly is seeking to devour. If you
In
purely
1.25 miles, exit right.
If you purely living like at that savage level, you know, just functioning off of urges and you know, out here trying to sleep with everything, or you're down for whatever, you're not going to be successful. There's so many programs out here that are trying to keep you from succeeding. They want you to be down for whatever, and even some of those things, which I'm not going to go too far in depth on that, some of that is crept into the conscious community. So you have so many people who think they're so super conscious, and they think that part of being conscious is being down for whatever sexually, right? With all this confusion that's going out here. Look, they will have you as a man wearing a dress, trying to get sex change, trying to have 4 or 5 mates, you know, all different types of things. Your swingers, you just all this different stuff that's going out there that has nothing to do with you getting in unison with your true purpose here. And that stuff's going to keep you away from it, because that's purely lower self satisfying your sexual urges and desires, you know, from an animal perspective. And there's a philosophy for that, which I can't remember, but just being down for whatever, you know, and it's not really cool, and it's more distraction, and that's the lower self seeking to devour, okay? And that's why, you know, as a more, you know, you shouldn't, you know, it's difficult, you know, when people are not even open to reading the Quran, studying it. You know, if it just turns you off, maybe it's because you're vibrating at that savage level, and you're not, you know, the higher thought, you know, the spiritual refinement of yourself turns you off. When you're looking at the symbols that the Prophet's giving you, he's breaking down what the square and the compass really is, and how these are the tools of the mind. This is spiritual refinement. This is to get you out of being a slave to the lower self, which again is why you should keep that imagery of the you know, the Prophet uplifting, you know, the female, fallen humanity out of the cares of the world, right? This is the image to keep in your mind, and it can help you in all different aspects of your life. It can keep you out of trouble. It can keep you from having 3 different baby mamas, you know, or having, you know, children that you brought children into the world and you're not even in their life. You got children in the world that are now going to have to fend for themselves, you know, because you got some woman pregnant that you don't even like, you know. That's a horrible situation, because your children, you know, that's not their fault that they were born by you, and they shouldn't have to fend for themselves and now have a difficult life, you know. So you should be there as a father, you know, or mother. You shouldn't have all these different, you know, men, you know, some of whom aren't going to stick around, or maybe none of them stick. That's horrible. But that's when you're a slave to your lower self, then you breed in another situation which those children may be doomed to repeat that cycle, you know. But these are the things that the prophet came to bring us out of. And some of the things, like, I see, which I don't want to get too far off the subject, but I see even people who claim to be Moors, which is what I was saying with the whole trying to attack other Moors thing, that's being caught up in the lower self. But even people who claim to be Moors, claim to be conscious, you're getting all into that sexual deviancy, you're getting caught up in drugs, you're getting caught up in all these things that are put out there to make you think it's a part of uplifting your consciousness, but it's not. It's another trap. It's appealing to the lower self. If you are a Moor and you can't even sit down and read the Quran and contemplate on what this means spiritually, how this can improve your life, that means you're still stuck in savagery. And I don't say that to down anyone who's watching this, because, you know, there may have been a point. I know there may have been a point in my life too, as a younger man, where looking at that, it would have just turned me off. I would have been like, what? Talking about Jesus? What? You know? So I get it. I'm not saying that to down anyone. That's the only reason I say that, is to say that, you know, if it turns you off, you got work to do. You're still stuck in the lower self, and that's why I hope this is making sense. It's not confusing. That's why it's important to keep that image of the prophet uplifting the woman, fallen humanity out of the cares of the world. And that's why I was sharing that this image was been found in ancient America, and it's probably, you know, all over the world in all ancient civilizations, okay? Because this is a universal symbol. From one aspect, this is about always vibrating higher to lift yourself out of the cares of the world. In, you know, Hermetic thought, you know, when you're looking at these principles, it's teaching you, you know, and this is from ancient Egypt, this is teaching you to always vibrate higher. If you are able to vibrate, you know, at a God level, if you're able to vibrate higher, you will not be bound by the same ills, you know, as everyone around you.
Islam.
Okay? This doesn't mean that you're above the laws, you know, the universal laws, all right? But this means that you can start to vibrate at that level, okay? So that they work for you instead of against you, okay? And this is why, you know, it is important to read this, to understand it. And that's why, if, you know, and now especially for all the people who's just, you know, coming into this, it's appealing to you because maybe you're getting caught up in the things out there, like, say, people telling you, oh, we can make that child support go away. That's appealing to the lower self.
Islam.
Coming to you like, hey, we can get you out of jail. You know, we can get you out of prison. You know,
because the prophets Moors will say, hey, let's figure out how to work shit out with your with your wife or your woman, so that y'all could raise that child together. Islam, let's figure out how, you know, to co-parent. Islam, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's teamwork. We all need each other. Like Supreme Grand Sheikh said, there's no big I's and little U's here. You know, we need to have a hive mind. We're doing it for the hive. The Moor Science Temple of America is our hive, and all the Moors claiming the prophet needs to work together and build that hive, protect that hive.
Islam. So, you know, with what she was saying, like, you know, when you get these teachings within the Moorish Science Temple of America, this is not just gibberish. It's not just here to keep you in church or something like this. This is higher wisdom, and it's meant to help you vibrate at a higher level, to raise your thoughts to the level, as she was saying earlier, of the ancients who built the pyramids all over the world. And that's why you see this symbol of lifting, fallen humanity out of the cares of the world. You'll see it universally, okay? Because this is something to keep in mind, to keep you at a higher level. So we want to get away from the things that are appealing to the lower self. I know many people come into this Moorish thought by, seeing the things that are appealing, to the lower self, seeing things that are like, okay, we can get these houses for free, we can do these things. That's appealing to the lower self. And if that's how you're coming in, now get exposed to this. See what the prophet brought, because the prophet is an ancient Egyptian Adab, and it's bringing ancient thought that can actually help you uplift yourself, which will improve everything around you. Okay? The prophet, was establishing businesses and being successful, and this is what we are all to do. By doing these things, that eliminates the need for all of the other stuff, right? Of course, by, like she was saying, co-parenting together, working together, you're not going to have these ills anymore, right? A lot of the things plaguing our community, all these things will be wiped out within one generation, if enough of us live by the principles and hold to it, okay? And so for, once again, just for anyone who's still out here vibrating in the Lord self, we sending you love, because like if you're, trying to put us or anyone else like us out on Front Street, you're just sending more people, good Moors our way, all right? Because we don't vibrate there, and if this is turning you off, you're gonna leave. But if you're sticking around, it's because you get it.
One faithful Moorish American Muslim is way
more powerful than 100 derelicts. That's more powerful than 100 vagabonds. Okay, one more who is vibrating, at this level, who's trying to put the prophet out front, which means it's trying to vibrate at that level that the prophet's at, live like the prophet and do these things, do these great things, is more powerful than 100 dudes and females sleeping on someone's couch that don't have their stuff together, that's only trying to sleep with everything, only trying to, do whatever drugs they can and whatever trifling, derelict activity that they can participate in. One more that's powerful, that's how powerful they are, by, knowing that all is mine, knowing their connection to God within and actually living it, not just talk for the internet that sounds good, because, anyone call themselves voodoo, goddess, queen, all this stuff online and act like they so special and all this stuff, but you're not really like that in real life, you're still stuck in savagery, okay, and you need to raise it up, okay. And I say this too because, once again, a lot of people online call themselves Moors and they ain't even thinking about the Quran. They don't even, and then one of the things that a lot of people say, to be like, well, the prophet, there were Moors before the prophet, and it's like, well, guess what? None of them did anything. None of them went out and told Moors and educated Moors and uplifted Moors in mass amounts to let them know that they have been stripped of their nationality. This thing that you are calling yourself Negro and colored, this was forced on you. Why are you doing this to yourself? The prophet actually let it be known, established the connection, the link, to a worldwide empire, not just Africa, not just the Americas, but worldwide, and established the ancient link and brought them wisdom and knowledge from a physical and spiritual perspective that lifted them up, and on top of that, established a recognized society for us that connects you back to your ancient forefathers, that gives you a nationality that's real. It's not this made-up ethnic, social, political status that keeps you at the bottom of a caste system. He did all that. No one else did. What did these other Moors? They'd be like, oh, you got the sundry free Moors. They didn't do this.
They didn't come for you right now in this era of time. After the sundry free Moors, guess what? That was a small group that had a lawsuit, had a case going on. Okay, great. But guess what? After that, their people, and at that time and after that, were being called Negroes. Boy, they did nothing about that. The prophet did. He established it.
That's real, and that's why you should respect it, and that's why you should look into the book, okay? And you gotta be real about it. If the book doesn't appeal to you, you gotta think you might still be dealing in savagery, okay? Because if you can't read ancient wisdom, you know, Hermetic thought, ancient Egyptian thought, whatever, if you can't read these words and contemplate on the double, triple, quadruple meanings that they have, on how it can affect you on a physical and spiritual level, mentally,
and how to take those lessons and apply them
you
to your
know,
life
you're
and
not
be
really deep.
successful.
You're not really deep. You're not really like conscious. And I don't say that because I don't like disparaging people, and I know that might turn people off, you know, but that's just being real about it. You're not as deep as you think you are if that Holy Quran doesn't appeal to you, because there's a lot in there. There's more in there that meets the eye.
And one thing, to get something straight, our religion is Islamism. We're talking about the Circle 7 Quran that was inspired by the Holy Quran of Mecca. So there was a couple of questions talking about what book, what do we read? It's like we read the Circle 7 Quran, but we're not limited because we are more scientists. We are not limited. We can read the Bible.
All prophets.
We respect all
our
prophets.
religions.
We honor all prophets. Because when man honors man, he honors Allah.
Yeah, we respect Christianity. You know, there's people out here who being a Christian has improved their life, has helped them. There's people who are committing crimes, who are doing horrible things. Being a Christian helped them get in touch with the Creator. Okay? So we don't knock that. We don't.
Islam, sorry for the interference. Like I said, we're in the car, we're on the road, so the signals aren't as strong as it would be if we were not moving. But like I said, we're Moorish American Muslims. We study more science. We are not. We can learn. We can read other schools of thought, other holy books, and we can take the lessons from those books and apply them to our lives and be successful and use the lessons to be better. That's what the MST of A is supposed to do.
And you may see people online who want to debate. You know, there's some people who want to destroy the Moors. That's purely the lower self.
And that's
purely
okay,
the lower self. And
you're
look,
destroying
those people,
yourself.
we send them love, because like it doesn't matter what you're calling yourself, you know, RBG, whatever you are. We want you to be successful. Why would we want you to not succeed? What you're doing is beautiful. We want it to succeed, you know? There's no need to try to expose you or try to take you down, you know? We can see the wisdom in what you're doing, and we want it to be successful. And if you know, look deeper, you may find that there's more to the Moorish paradigm than what you think. And some of these people show this by their words, saying that the Moors were enslaving, you know, Africans or whatever. It's deeper than that, okay? So, you know, if you look deeper, you may find that there's more to it than you think. But, you know, what we're doing is beautiful. What you're doing is beautiful. We want it to succeed, regardless of what perspective you're coming from. There's no need to devour, destroy, and expose. That's the lower self. It's just seeking whom it can devour, whom it can take down. If you feel the need, even if you feel you've been wronged, if you feel the need to expose people and bring them down and put these organizations on Front Street to show how they're not real, that's the ego. You know, it's hurt, it's offended for whatever reason, and it feels the need to expose. And none of us are so, like, I'm not up here. I will never act like I can't be checked, like I'm infallible, like I did nothing wrong, you know? And I'm saying but really we should all apply that to ourselves. Like, there should be you understood, meaning all of us. None of us should be out here acting like we're so perfect that we can't be checked sometimes. Like, if you're out here trying to expose other people or organizations, you know, especially other Asiatics, there may be something more at play. You know, the ego may have been hurt, the lower self may have been offended
or somebody else is gassing you up. You know, it's like you have to check yourself. And like we said earlier before our last video, was cut off, that come in an intelligent tone behind closed doors so that you could come up with remedy and, use that same hateful, mad energy to do something productive with your brothers and sisters who are actually out here being active and productive in the movement. Don't focus on all the negativity and what you don't like all the time. We live in this world. You're gonna find a lot of stuff and a lot of people that you don't like. But as Moorish American Muslims, we're taught to love instead of hate. We're supposed to always put love first.
And most of us out here are genuine, real people, who want to prosper and want to see other Moors prosper. This is why, people who tune in can feel this, because it's like we're not up here like, we're any different than anyone else. We're real people. And so we want it to be successful. We don't care what you're claiming. We want it to succeed because you don't want the same for you that I want for myself. Want your family doing good, and want your organization to succeed. So, it doesn't benefit us to be out here attacking each other, publicly.
It's not.
And to try to embarrass or make fun of each other. That's just purely the lower self, and that has nothing to do with what our prophet established. We get out of line, all of us do. We get out of line, and that's why we have those tools, the workshop of the mind, to refine ourselves. We have to constantly refine ourselves.
That's why we're
because
here.
To keep yourself up out of the cares of the world. The cares of the world aren't just, poverty and things like that. They're also, envy, jealousy, other people hating on you or whatever. These are all, the cares of the world. And we have to constantly refine ourselves, and that will fix that. Because you can't always get that other person to act right. But you can refine yourself, and believe it or not, that will remove that situation or improve that situation.
From your
life. It's always like that. There's a parable where okay, the man who's looking in the mirror, he needs to shave. He can put shaving cream on his reflection in the mirror and try to, shave that, but it's not going to fix himself, right? And what that really means is, the outer world is just a mirror. It's just an outpicturing of what's going on internally within you. Okay, and that, that's in alignment. I hope this isn't confusing, but that's in alignment with Ho'oponopono, which is an ancient Hawaiian indigenous, I guess you could say philosophy, school of thought, where, anything that happens, to the spiritual masters from that indigenous perspective, they'll go within to fix it. No matter how great or small, okay, their issues are. And by going within, it can remove anything.
Islam.
Anything, okay? And
why? Because it's all a reflection of who you are inside.
Because all is mine. And the prophet
because you're the creator of your life and your world, and take responsibility for what's happening in front of you and around you. Just accept the fact, because at the end of the day, you can't say you are an adept or even a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and you don't know that God lives within you.
Okay, and to add to that, to the neophyte, that is crazy. To think that you can work on yourself and remove all obstacles. That's crazy talk. But to the adept, that's supposed to get you back in line.
Islam.
Being reminded that working on yourself, mentally, internally, all is mine, will remove all obstacles, all perceived obstacles. Okay? Because we know that these are all lessons. Working on the internal will remove all perceived obstacles. Will either, remove or improve. So there may be situations with other Moors, that turned against you or whatever. It's either going to remove it or improve it. Maybe that situation will prove however it needs to be done, but it doesn't go by attacking them. It goes by working within, right?
Islam.
It's always an inside. All right, it's an inside game. Okay, always. All right, and that is Moorish science, and this is what the prophet taught us. Okay, and that's why I'm saying that's one aspect of the image uplifting fallen humanity out of the cares of the world. That's you, always. Right, vibrate at the higher level, always. Okay, all right.
And we are not, each individual person here is not the ones who determine your life path. That's all your responsibility. You can't blame other people. You can't blame situations. You can't blame other things for what's going on in your life, because that is your life and that's your responsibility. And you could take your life and your responsibilities into your own hands, and you can move forward right now. No matter what's happening, no matter what's going on in your life right now, you could take your life into your hands and move forward.
Always. So that's always the case, okay? And so like I was saying earlier, I'm gonna say this one more time. To the neophyte, that's crazy to think that you have power, that you actually mentally are connected to everything, that you can change your reality, by going within. It makes no sense. Okay, and for some, that will come with time, with wisdom, with being diligent in these teachings. They will learn that that's real. Okay, but for the adept, and especially those who've been on this for years, that's supposed to snap you back in line. Hearing that, that's supposed to be like, yep, what am I doing out here attacking? It's always an inside game. All is mine. Get back on yourself. Always, by going within, that will improve or remove those things, that you perceive as against you. All right, it's always, so there's never any need to put anyone on Front Street to do any of that. Okay,
and you do what you're supposed to do, all truth will come to light, no matter what. No matter how you feel, keep trekking, keep moving forward, keep the prophet out front, keep being positive, stay focused on Allah, and everything else will fall in line.
Always. All right, and once again, I know I said this before, but I'm gonna say this, like with the Holy Quran, if you're calling yourself a Moor and it doesn't appeal to you, you've got a lot of work to do. You're still, dealing in the lower self, and you're still, you got to raise yourself up, okay? You have to, because you shouldn't, you should be able to read the Kabbalion and not be turned off. You should be able to see the wisdom in there. You should be able to see the wisdom in the Holy Quran. You should even be able to see the wisdom in the Bible, in the Quran of Mecca. You should be able to see that wisdom. You should be able to see the wisdom in the Bhagavad Gita, right? You should be able to learn and apply this to your life. It shouldn't just be like that's religion,
It's
if
all
you're
connected.
feeling like that, that's savagery. That's savage self. The lower self is turned off by that. It's not able to see that higher thought in
Islam.
Okay,
and
so
you
remember that.
Remember the reason why? Because there was an agenda to stomp out the light.
Yes, there's I believe this was in Virginia, like in the House of Delegates or something. I can't remember exactly who said it, but there was a state representative who said, if we could only, completely remove the light, from entering the Negro's mind, then we would have complete control and domination. But we've almost done it, and so you got to think, like, why? Okay, so that's why this Real Housewives and all this, savagery is being promoted. They got someone just on TV, like, we don't even watch that stuff, but just saw something with it. They had a bunch of strippers on there, and they're kind of promoting that lifestyle. They interviewing them, and that's what, I'm not knocking Cardi B or Nicki Minaj or any of that stuff, but that's why this is the type of music that's being promoted, and that image is being promoted, and they're talking about, we drug dudes and robbed them, and then boom, they got the whole movie coming out about it, with Jennifer Lopez, right? Right, big time movie.
And it's not just entertainment, because these are the mothers of the future. And if this is what the mothers of the future is on, this trash, guess what the future is going to look like? Guess what those children that they're rearing is going to look like?
Because, women going to be in there watching. I don't even remember what the movie's called, but it just came out. They're going to be in there watching it, the strippers or females, whatever they are, and they robbing dudes, drugging them. Right after Cardi B had the whole little, episode where she's talking about how she used to do this. Movie comes out. This is promoting this mentality.
That's
So
marketing.
females gonna be in there watching the movie,
That's just the
high
marketing.
fiving each other, you know, feeling good about this. This is the lower savagery that they want you to be in.
And guess
right?
what?
Okay, they want you to be.
They're gonna end
vibrating
up
on
getting
that
hurt,
program.
killed. You know, like it's an agenda.
Even thinking that's cool and okay, is vibrating at a low, and then you know, sex, drugs, money. Sex, drugs, money. You know,
Alcohol.
having sex, drugging them, robbing them.
All
sex,
things
drugs, and
that
money.
Moors are not
They want
supposed
you
to be
vibrating at
engaging
that
in.
level, thinking that that's cool. So this is one of the programs being put out. There's so many out here. They want you vibrating at this lower level. So if this type of savagery appeals to you, you're vibrating completely in that lower self that wants to devour everything. They want to keep us at this savagery. That's why you had that whole vibe going where they had everybody calling themselves savage, 21 Savage. You know, people was saying I'm savage. You know, savage, like that's cool. And they want you, like, literally saying that. They want to keep you at that level. So you even had that being pushed, that agenda within that conscious movement.
Islam. And
So
peep this. The savage, they went from Lil Wayne, Lil Zane, Lil. They was all little dudes. You know, they weren't big grown men. They were little.
Baby.
And then they became savages. You know,
Little
and beasts
savage.
and
Baby
beasts,
savage.
savages and beasts. And now the women are hoes, sluts, whores. You know, the whole Amber Rose, you know, slut shaming, and you know they coming
rapper.
out. And then now we have the little babies, the babies. It's if you pay attention, stuff is hitting our subconscious minds, and this is why our communities and our neighborhoods are in shambles. This is why our family units aren't nuclear. This is why we have all these grandparents raising these babies, because the parents are out the picture because they are messed up. Okay? This is not how it's supposed to be. They done stomped the light out of the Negro's mind.
Exactly. Right? And then get you at such a savage level that you can't even you can't even read the Quran.
You can't read nothing except for Facebook. You know, you can't read
memes.
nothing.
That's
you
all
can't
you
read
can do.
nothing.
You can see memes, and every now and then it appeals to something within you, and you share it. You know, you can just watch memes and videos, and that's it. You can't get, you can't even be calm and patient enough to read something if you can't get the light out of it at first. Read it again, or read other books and cross-reference. They want you to keep you at that level, right?
And heaven is a state of mind. That's what I'm getting to. If heaven is a state of mind, and they're hitting you with hell, savage beasts, prostitution, illegitimate children, that's not heaven in your mind. That's hell. They put you in hell. You are in hell, and you're dwelling there, and you don't know how to get out. But this is how to get out.
It's always you. You can always get out. All is mine. It's always within. So you increase your vibratory level. You increase your thought level, and that's always the key.
Islam.
Always. That's the skeleton key. That's the universal key. That's the master key. Always.
Islam. And
right?
that's what the Prophet brought us with the Moorish Science Temple of America Divine and National Movement. He is teaching us how to be divine and national in the way we move in this society.
And if that seems like it's just talk, it's because you have a lot of work to do. Okay? It's because me making YouTube videos isn't the answer for you. Okay? You looking at somebody else's videos ain't the answer. You need to get this. You need to put it into practice for yourself to improve yourself. You are the key. You can improve your situation no matter what is facing you, and you have the power to do things that you don't even realize, and that you can't realize by watching some video or hearing something that sounds good.
Islam.
You have to actually vibrate at a higher level and realize that the Christ within.
Islam.
And if you haven't done that, you got a lot of work to do. You have to do it. You know, the Christ is you. All of these things are you. All right, and it's not just talk. And just saying it online is not good enough. You have to actually live it. Okay, and you can't do that if you're still slave to the lower self. All right, and if you're out here trying to be more, and you're trying to figure out a way to sleep with a bunch of different dudes, sleep with a bunch of different females, or do both, sleep with all of them, dogs, cats, females, males, everything. If you're trying to do all this and be conscious, that's the lower self trying to devour everything, trying to be as savage as possible
and keep you in hell.
Yeah.
The lower self is here to keep you in hell.
Trying to get high and everything, you know, and still do this. That's the lower self, man. All right, because there's nothing higher than vibrating, you know, at a higher level. There's nothing higher than that. All right, higher thought. So, you know, look, if you're trying to seek ways to do this from a lower self perspective, it will never work. You will always be in misery and shambles, always be in poverty, struggling, wondering how come you a God but you still struggling, because you still at a, you know, slave to the lower self. All right, and that's the truth, you know, and if like, you know, I'm not saying this to down anyone, but if you're having money troubles, you still got a lot of work to do, because mastering currency should be easy for a God, right? Currency isn't paper money. That's just a medium of exchange, but currency is the flow of energy, right? Look it up. Currency is the flow of energy, okay? And if you haven't mastered that, you got some work to do.
It reflects your current state of mind.
Exactly. Okay, so these are things to get down, knock that out, and move on to the next thing, okay? And it's not by trying to seek some way to get out of it, some, you know, cheat code. The cheat code is knowing that all is mine and refining yourself.
And create your reality.
Okay?
Create that new flow of currency, of energy and coming towards you.
You can't succeed
energy.
by being a victim. You can't be a victim of slavery. You can't be a victim of oppression. You can't be a victim because God incarnated within everything, including you. So God isn't a victim. You know, Allah is not a victim. The universal mind, whatever you want to call it, Allah is not a victim. Okay? So you can't be a victim and be God at the same time. So if you choose to be a victim, then, you know, God experiencing life through you is going to be experiencing life as a victim, and you're going to be a victim of oppression. You're going to suffer, you know, you always going to have, you know, problems financially, you know, socially, you know, maybe baby mama,
and when
baby
you
daddy issues.
And when you change forms or die, guess what? You coming right back to that.
Next level that you go
coming
to,
right back to that.
You know, you'll be, you know, still having to struggle because you didn't beat them in this level. You know, if this was a game, you didn't beat it on this level. So where you go to there, you know, at the other, you know, on the other plane of existence, you're gonna be working from these because you didn't master them here.
Islam,
okay?
just like
so
Mario on Mario Brothers. You know, he died, he come back as the little man. Like, you gotta go and find that big man.
If you putting people on blast here, you make the transition, you go there, you're still gonna be trying to put people on blast because you're not realizing that whatever issues, whatever ills have been done to you, you gotta work on yourself to remove it, to improve it, right? It's always internal, okay? All right? And so it's never the outside world. Even though we can be like, oh, it's messed up out there, it's always self, you know?
And stop letting people hype you up. Everybody don't have your best interests at heart. Misery loves company. If you're dealing with miserable people who's always complaining and who's negative and who's they not doing that over there, they not doing that over there, guess what?
Tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So your thoughts are at a lower level, and it's why people that are at a lower level aren't repelled by you. They're
Study
attracted
self.
to you.
Study
and so,
self.
You know, it's always self.
Study
always.
self.
And you know, man, I lost my train of thought, but it's always self. It's always that. And you know, you can't succeed by being a victim. If this sounds like, oh, we happy, we living a good life, so, you know, we just try and rub that in someone's face. Nah, man, this is the truth.
We're Moorish American Muslims. We're here to be examples.
You know, don't be a victim, okay? Raise your thoughts up. Get out the lower self, man. It's always like that. Some of the some of the stuff, man, that we've been through, like, you know, it's harsh, man, and it's bad, and it would destroy another person, okay? So I'm not going to sit up and talk about that, You know, even though that some of those things are just a testimony to share with others that can help them improve. You know, some of the things that you're going through is just because you're strong enough to do it. You know, and that test has been put there for you to improve because you're the Christ. You're supposed to rise above that. Always. Okay? All right? And so even though we're not focused on the negative aspects of, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, everything's always perfect. Just saying that, look, man, it's always you. You can always improve your life. And that's it. And if you know all is mine, then you always have the master key. No matter what situation you're facing, you can always connect and improve that. All right?
Islamism. Happy Holy Day to you, beautiful Moors. We love you.
Happy Holy Day.
We love you. We love you. We love each and every Moor. The ones we know, the ones we've met, the ones we never met.
I know the ones we
you.
never met, probably never will meet. That with whatever reason want to make negative videos, want to put other Moors on blast, even though they breaking the divine constitution and bylaws. For whatever reason, you know, we still love you.
We love you.
We got nothing but love for you. We want you to succeed, man. Even if you got nothing but negativity to say about us, we want you to succeed, because if you even though you got those faults and things that you're doing is wrong, if you still got love, you know, for Allah, you're true. You really are Moorish American, and you want, you know, Moors to succeed, then we want you to succeed.
And you put the Prophet out front.
Put the Prophet out front.
And you focus on Allah. We're brothers and sisters. Like I fight with my brothers and sisters all the time, my biological brothers and sisters, but guess what? When it comes down to the nitty gritty, we got each other's backs.
Yeah, I'm not.
We love each other, and guess what? We're not letting nobody outside of our family come in and do anything to anybody.
Exactly. You more. I want you to succeed. I don't care what state you're in, what country you're in. I want you to succeed for real. I'm not siding with someone else over my Moors. Period.
Islam.
And I'm definitely not going to try to put someone else's name out here on here unless it's in a positive light, because I want you to succeed, man.
Because that's what you're here for.
Female, male, female, whatever. You know?
You got the energy. You got the energy. You got the platform. Bring those Moors vibration up. Bring your vibration up. And let's see what Allah has in store for you. Not what you have in store for you. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about him. It's not about us as individuals.
So one gem just to share with people, no matter what the other Moors are trying to do, even if they're trying to bring us down in a negative light, we're not succumbing to that, because I see the trap. I see that's just the lower self seeking whom it can devour. And so I'm not going to go along with that, because I follow the Prophet.
Islam.
I don't follow the lower self. So why would I, you know, interject? Why would I, you know, keep going with that? Nah, it's just seeking whom it can devour. I love you, and I want you to succeed, you know? And so send out hate, but we vibrating on love, man. Love you. Love you. All right? I love you. I know that makes you feel good. Even if you saying negativity, I love you for real. You're more, man. How could I not love you? You're more. I want you to succeed. All right? And I want you to prosper. And, you know, I want your platform, whatever temples, whatever businesses, anything that other Moors are doing, I want you to succeed, because I'm proud of you. It makes me happy to know there's other Moors out there, especially if I see you with the fez or a turban on. I love you. I'm happy.
That's the most beautiful thing in the world to a Moorish American Muslim, to the Prophet's Muslims.
And you know we're not lying, because you feel it too, man. When I see another Moor out there, it makes me happy, you know? Especially you ain't out here drunk or messed up wearing the fez and turban. You out here doing you. I want you to succeed. You know, you got children too, man, that's a blessing. And you're teaching them about their nationality, that's a blessing. It's nothing but love. There's no hatred. I don't care what you say about me, because that's just the lower self. Ego ain't even involved in it. I don't even care. You could put our heads on a balloon and pop it. I don't care what you're doing trying to climb it. I don't care. I love you, you know, because you're more. And I love you, you know. None but love. Ain't no, I'm not falling for that. That's just the lower self trying to devour. We not caught up in that. None but love.
Islam.
Nothing but love. Islam Moors, happy holy day. Islam, much love to Temple 12, Temple 1, Temple, much love to Dallas, much love to Oakland, much love to Orlando, to West Palm Beach, Miami, Atlanta, to Baltimore, to Detroit, to Louisville, to all the cities and states, the countries, Toronto, Barbados, Jamaica, Haiti, Puerto Rico. We just saw some pictures of some Boricuas that know that they're Moors. Shared that on the Mommy Knows Best page, especially for all the Moors of Caribbean descent. Go follow Mommy Knows Best on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube, and there's a website, mommyknowsbest.com. All right, and just much love out there to all the Moors. It's nothing but love. It's just love. It's holy day.
How
can we
day.
not vibrate in love?
After convention.
All right, so
do you understand how powerful convention is for a Moorish American Muslim?
Islam. And so I mean this from the bottom of my heart, man. Even if you're trying to make fun of me, I love you. You know, especially if you're Moor. I love you. I don't care. And especially if you have children. You know, and you know that you're Moor and you're teaching your children your nationality. I don't care if you calling me every name in the book. I love you because you are Moor and you're teaching that to your children, and that's nothing but love. Because if you raising little Moorish children, I'm doing the same thing. So I love you.
And at the end of the
Sending
day,
you nothing but love.
All our Moorish American Muslim children are going to be running this show.
Exactly. And if I want more and more to get out there and make fun of me, I don't care. Because if you doing that, if you raising more children, I'm just going to sing love every time. Nothing but love. Because, you know, I can't vibrate on hate. I'm happy. I see my children. We teaching them. We raising them. We can't be angry out here. You know, I feel like we doing what we supposed to do. So it's nothing but love. And if you doing the same thing, I got love for you. How could I hate you? I can't hate you, man. I follow the prophet. I love you. That's it. I follow the prophet, man. I love you. Don't care who you call Grand Sheik, Supreme Grand Sheik, whatever. I love you because you're Moor, you know? And I just want to end it on that note. It's all love. Happy holy day. We got love for you, no matter what. You know, we in it together. Even if you don't see us as being on the same side, I do.
There's no sides.
That's what Moors in America is about. We want to work with you. We want to work with all Moors out there that's sincere about us prospering together and our nation being stronger.
Ain't no sides in the center of the circle. Now, circle 7, we in the circle. So come on in the circle.
Islam.
Peace and blessings, Moors. Happy holy day. Hope to see you next convention. Time to unite. Moors in America 7 on YouTube. Share it, live it, do it,
love.
be it.
That's it. Love.